Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you may be listening, whatever time it may be. My name is Ryan Dooley, and welcome to Let's Talk Football. This is going to be an awesome episode. Oh my goodness, when I'm recording this, it is just about 5 minutes after the final play of the Georgia Ole Miss playoff game. I'm going to talk about that game. I'm going to talk about every second round matchup and kind of some preview into the next round because I think some of those games will be really good. I will get into all that and some in-depth analysis. First, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has watched these. We've gotten continued support on every single one of these videos. So if you like what you're seeing, hit like and subscribe down below. Make sure to comment as well. Let me know if you'd like me to change anything or if there was something you think I missed in this episode or ones in the past. Just kind of want to say thank you for that. Happy New Year, and let's get into this incredible second round. And I normally will start with the first game and go in chronological order. But I am starting with the game that just happened between Ole Miss and Georgia because this was maybe the best college football game I have seen all year. This game was incredible. Um, did we really expect this from Ole Miss? This game does end up being 39-34, 37-34. Really, the 39 comes with the safety at the very end of the game. But this game, just Trinidad Chambliss. I got a round of applause. Give you your flowers. He played out of his mind. Any question marks coming into this college football playoff about
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I unlatched Bevo's gate.
Immediately with this game. Obviously, we saw them against Tulane last week, but everyone expected them to win that game. They looked great. They came out on fire. It's what we expected, and they looked better, I think, than I initially thought they would. But this game was the real test. Georgia, coming off the SEC championship win, looked about as dominant as they have ever. They just completely dominated Alabama, who we'll talk about in a second. You can see I am repping the Alabama jersey for the last time this year. I'll touch on that later. But this game, you just look at the stats over here. Ole Miss dominated this game. 122 more yards than them. Neither team was good on third down, which I think is a big talking point in this game of if Georgia could have converted some of those third downs, maybe this game doesn't even come down to a long field goal. Big catches there at the end. I mean, it's Lucas Carniero, I believe is how you say it. This kid is incredible. Oh my God, I haven't paid attention enough. Haven't been giving my kicker enough love. I pay attention to a lot of kickers. Hadn't seen what this kid had been doing at Ole Miss all year. The two longest field goals in Sugar Bowl in Sugar Bowl history. He then hits the game winner at the end. Absolutely incredible. They don't win this game without him. This Ole Miss team looks so much better than I thought they would. And now they go into the next round where they will play Miami, another surprise win as they knocked off Ohio State. And you're looking at Ole Miss has a good chance here to go play for a college football playoff championship without Lane Kiffin there. Great job, Charlie Weiss Jr. Absolutely incredible play calling from him. Great game from him. Pete Golding keeping this intensity up. The one thing I touched on earlier when I was talking about this game, who is going to step up on the Ole Miss sideline now that Lane Kiffin is gone when times get tough? They almost blew this lead. They were up double digits in the fourth quarter. Georgia comes roaring back. They have first and goal. It looks like they're about to take the lead, and Ole Miss is going to be stunned. The defense holds tough. Bend, don't break. And then Trinidad Chambliss with a great throw on third down, seeing his leverage, throwing that inside slot fade onto his number two, where they had press coverage there. Great ball, great catch, get down, chew some clock out, and then kick the game-winning field goal. This was one of the best games that I have seen all year long. Ole Miss is legit. This is not a fluke. Come out and look like this. They scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. They kind of saved it all up until the fourth quarter there. But yeah, we're up 10 points, and you could see them just start chipping away. Georgia does what Georgia does, and oh my goodness, what a game. I am so excited to watch this team. So happy for Ole Miss. This is the Ole Miss we were all hoping to see with Lane Kiffin gone, hoping that they were going to be the same caliber that they were all year. I'm riding high off this game right now. That was awesome. while I was cheering for Georgia, I think because I had picked Georgia to win this game, I'll get into my bracket here in a second because it's completely busted now. But absolutely incredible win for Pete Golding and that Ole Miss squad. Trinidad Chambliss can't give you enough credit. I really hope you win your eligibility waiver and come back for another year because this guy is electric. Would love to see another year from him. Um, yeah, I guess I'll go kind of reverse chronological order. And I will talk about actually I'll switch. I'll talk about who they're gonna play. And that is the Miami Hurricanes, who I don't think anyone really saw that happening. Ohio State double-digit favorites. I picked Ohio State to win it all. I mentioned that my bracket is not doing quite as well as I hoped it would. That is because Miami just completely blew up my bracket. Not only did I not have Miami winning their first game against Texas A&M, I had Ohio State winning it all, and Miami just dominates this game. I mean, the two interceptions from Julian Sand, it's kind of what we had talked about with earlier in the year. He kind of it didn't look nearly as the year progressed on. He got better and better and protected the football more and more, and it was the thing that he was coveted over was his ability to protect the football and not make the stupid decisions. The pick six changed this game. I think without this pick six, Ohio State wins this game. They looked like they come out slow. They've been a second half team all year, and it's like, okay, here we go. They're gonna go get points. It's gonna be tied. They'll be fine. And then the pick six happens, and it's like, oh my god, here we go. Keontae Scott, the 72-yard interception when OSU looks like they're knocking on the door to go get points and tie it up, and it's just it completely changed the game. There's no other way to put it. Just a bad ball. It's a screen. It's not there. Like the easiest pick six ever just telegraphed it. It's just it can't happen. It just damn it. It's one of those things where it's because he's so young. You say it's just first real big game for him, and you're playing at Ohio State, and that's the expectations you have. You cannot throw that ball. I picked Ohio State in this game. Like I've mentioned a couple times, I picked them to win it all. That does not mean that I did not love watching this game. I found myself cheering for Miami as this game went on just because it's a great story. And for me, I thought Ole Miss was going to lose, and I was like, oh, my God, Carson Beck is going to get to go against Georgia and have his revenge game where he was pushed out for Gunnar Stockton. And then Georgia loses, so now he gets Ole Miss. But Miami has now put themselves in a good spot, just like I talked about with Ole Miss, that they are one game away against a team that a lot of people were low on to go play for a national championship after people thought they were going to get left out of the playoff. They are in an incredible position, and now we have seen in the past 2 years something might need to change with this playoff format because the top four seeds, and last year was a little different because of the weird rules surrounding conference champions getting buys, but the teams who have gotten the first round bye are now 1-7 in their home games, which is insane. The only win came today in the Rose Bowl when Indiana took care of business against Alabama. I will talk about that game next. But yeah, this for an Ohio State team, this has to be a letdown. Everyone talked about, I will ask Ohio State fans this. It was talked about last year that while winning the national championship, it wasn't a complete season because you did not beat Michigan. And there were a lot of fans who I heard say, I would rather beat Michigan than win a national championship. Do you sit here today and have that same opinion? Because not only did you win a national championship last year, but this year you got that wish. You beat Michigan, but you did not win the national championship. And do you sit here now today feeling better about the season this year or better about the season last year? And I believe if you're an Ohio State fan and you believe that this season is more of a success than last, then you do not have your priorities straight. I understand the Michigan game is such a big game, but the national championship has to mean more than any rivalry. And if I was an Ohio State fan, which I am not, I would take last season over this season 100 times out of 100, and it wouldn't even be close. But yes, I believe this is a letdown season for Ohio State, and interested to see where they bounce back. They return Julian Sayin, they return Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate is gone. They're going to lose Caleb Downs, Davison Igbinosin. There's going to be a lot of turnover with this team, but some of the key pieces will be back, and the main two are your quarterback and your best player. Obviously, Arvell Reese is also gone, but Jeremiah Smith is their best player. He's the best player in all of college football. He'll get another year in this system. He'll be a year older. Julian Sayin now will come back, another year in this system, year older. That connection will continue to build. Really excited to see what this team will bring next year. And to the Miami Hurricanes, absolutely incredible. Did what I did not think they were going to be able to do, and just did enough. They won the turnover battle, and ultimately that's what it came down to. Also, 0 penalties. Mario Cristobal, great job. Very well coached team. Very excited to watch them and Ole Miss. Two teams I didn't think would be playing each other in this college football playoff. I will move into the game of the jersey that I am wearing, because I think it's a big game to talk about. And obviously, I do not like the result of it. Although I picked the result correctly, I had the game a lot closer than it was. This game wasn't close at all. Yeah, 38-3 is the final of the Rose Bowl between Indiana and Alabama. Some weird things happened in this game. There was some weird play calls. As an Alabama fan, I will try to keep a lot of my personal opinions to myself. I won't try to get into the more opinionated stuff, but you can't get outgained 407 yards to 193 and just get pushed around. The narrative of, oh, it's Indiana, it has to be over. This team is legit. This is the most well-coached team I might have ever seen. This has Saban written all over it. This is the early 2010s to late 2000s Nick Saban coach team. They don't make mistakes. They don't shoot themselves in the foot. This is a national championship caliber team. They're going to have a tough one. They're going to play Oregon, who they already played earlier in the year. I think I like them in that game still. I'll touch on that a little bit later when I talk about the Ducks and their big win over Texas Tech. But they just completely dominated this game. And there's some weird things here. Ty Simpson, not his best game. Also got hurt, got replaced after halftime because of the injury. Alex Mack comes in, looks good. But this game was never a game, really. Yeah, as an Alabama fan myself, I turned this game off after the first drive of halftime, or after halftime, when it was already 17-0, and then they came out and went 3-and-out and punted. I didn't even watch Indiana go up 24-0. I had people text me and say, "Yeah, it's over." So I didn't even watch the second half of this game. So they got a field goal. That's great. I didn't agree with it when I was watching the score, at least, because I was like, go for a touchdown and 2, and you'll be down 2 scores. They kick a field goal. Didn't end up mattering in the end. They get blown out. The worst loss for Alabama that I can remember in forever. I don't have the stat on that. Don't think Nick Saban ever really lost. The only game I can think of that was like this was the national championship against Trevor Lawrence and that Clemson team. I believe that was 2017 championship. But yeah, this game was never close. Alabama got pushed around all day long. They couldn't run the ball. I don't understand. I will get a little bit on an Alabama fan tangent here. I don't understand the play calling at all this game. The conditions were okay. The conditions were much better than we thought they were going to be. The torrential downpour the last couple days made the field very muddy and sloppy, but the actual conditions for the game were fine, and Fernando Mendoza took full advantage of that, and Indiana took full advantage of that. The play calling for Alabama was so conservative. Inside zone runs and screen passes was all that was happening, and I'm not sure if Ty Simpson was banged up more than was let on or what happened, but at some point, you've got to open up the playbook. Alabama's best unit is their receivers. Let Jeremy Bernard go to work. Let Lazir Brooks go to work. Ryan Williams looked back to being what we thought Ryan Williams was kind of going to be. Let Isaiah Horton go. Josh Cuevas was in the game and looking good. Jam Miller didn't play at all in the first half. He must be more hurt as well than was being let on, but Why are you not letting your receivers go make plays down the field? The game plan made no sense to me. The defense was just getting worn out because they were out there so much. Sloppy all the way around from the Crimson Tide. Indiana is the best coach team in the country, without a doubt. Will pick them now with Ohio State out to win the college football championship. I believe the winner of them and Oregon will win, and I believe they'll beat Oregon just because they've already beaten them once, which I know it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season. We just saw it with Ole Miss and Georgia, but this team is so well coached and so disciplined. Kurt Signetti, give you your roses for the Rose Bowl, because this game, it was a statement from Indiana, because I think they really are this good. Maybe not 35 points better than Alabama, but they dominated and they kept the foot on the gas, which is what you want to see from a team looking to finish off a great season. I could see them going undefeated and winning this national championship very easily. But they do have a big test next week against the Oregon Ducks, who shut out Texas Tech. I said kind of coming into this game, I was a little worried about Texas Tech, and I was a little worried about Texas Tech's offense. I wasn't sure how much they were going to be able to do against a good defense, and it showed today. The answer to that is not much. I don't know that I was overly impressed with Oregon either. Obviously, Texas Tech's defense is very good, but it seemed like Oregon just couldn't put them away until very late. This game was a two-score game with like I believe it was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Up until 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. This was a 16-0 game. This was a two-score game. Oregon just didn't seem like they could put Texas Tech away, even though Texas Tech gave them every opportunity to. 4 turnovers. You're not going to beat a team of Oregon's caliber with 4 turnovers. It can't happen. Neither team was good on third down. Oregon loves to go for it on fourth down. Texas Tech's defense was great all day. They just kind of got pushed to their breaking point because they were out there so much, and eventually they had to give up points. This is not on Texas Tech's defense at all, and I will give enough credit here to Oregon's defense that looked incredible. They played their butts off all day long. I know this Texas Tech offense maybe had question marks coming into this game, but this is a team that averaged over 40 points a game, and they were completely shut down. Obviously, getting shut out on the scoreboard. I never thought Alabama scoring 3 points was not going to be the lowest scorer of the day, but this is 23-0 the final here. Dante Moore, I liked his game more than the stats show. I understand the interception and no touchdowns to his name, but controlled the game very well. I believe he is the best quarterback in the draft class. I think he has the highest ceiling, him and Mendoza. I'm going to love to watch them play against each other, because I honestly believe the winner of that game will be the first overall pick. It obviously does depend on who has the first pick and what they value more and who they like through their whole draft process. But I'm so excited to see this again, because this was a marquee matchup earlier in the year, but not to this level. This is a college football semifinal. I believe it's the Peach Bowl that they're playing in Georgia. This is going to be a great game. This is going to be a great game between Oregon and Indiana. Super excited to watch that. Impressed with the Ducks, not overly impressed. I think I will take Indiana in that game. So I don't have a graphic made or anything, but I will just kind of talk about a little bit of what I have for my predictions for these games coming up. I mentioned I will take Indiana over Oregon. I believe they are the better team. I've talked about how well coached I think they are. I think that's what's going to be the separator there. It's going to be very close, and I think this is going to be kind of very similar to the game that we saw at Oregon earlier in the year where it was 30-20. I will take Indiana. I'll take them 31-24 in that game. This is kind of rough. I might change this on I'll put out an episode before the semifinal games are here. And I haven't really thought about a pick too much for the Ole Miss Miami game. I think my initial reaction is going to be to go. I think my initial reaction might be Miami. I know Ole Miss just played such a good game against Georgia and everything, but I both the quarterbacks are experienced. This is a toss up for me. I don't know that I'm gonna give a prediction right here. I'm gonna have to look into that game more, and kind of look at things I like, things I don't like, where matchups. I just love Miami's defense and Ruben Bain. My goodness, he is gonna just fly. He is going to be a top four pick at the worst. I think he goes inside the top three. I think he's the first non-quarterback off the board. He has been incredible both playoff games. I mentioned in an earlier show, I thought he was very Abdul Carter esque. Of you could see him in this playoff just ball out and kind of shoot up draft boards the way Abdul Carter did. I think he's going to do the same thing. Super excited. Both these matchups are going to be incredible for the semifinal. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this Georgia Ole Miss game a lot. That's why I touched on that early on. Outside of that, not much else I have for you. This is an all college football show today. We will have an NFL show coming up soon where I strictly just talk about NFL. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would like me to talk about on that. If there's any points you'd like me to cover. A little bit of a shorter episode today. There's not really much structure around it. This is more of a live reaction. As I mentioned, it is the last time that I will have the Alabama jersey on. I do have the helmet still back there. And as you can see, got a little Lombardi trophy back there for my Dynasty Fantasy Football League. I did win in year one here. Almost lost it to Bijan Robinson at the end, but thankfully Puka Nacua was able to save me. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know your reactions from these games and what you are looking forward to coming up. That is all I have for you today. I thank you for watching from wherever you may be listening and whatever time it may be. I'm Ryan Dooley, and this was Let's Talk Football. Thank you for watching this episode of Let's Talk Football. If you enjoyed what you heard today, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, comment down below with what you would like to see me talk about next. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, click on the video right now to see my last episode, and let's talk more football.